So, on this International Women's Day, let us recognize and honor the remarkable contribution of the women in the technology industry. Together, we create an environment that embraces the diversity and the foster inclusivity. And on prestigious, our prestigious guest today is prominent voice in the tech community. Let me provide her the platform she deserves, definitely. And I take a moment to welcome Malin. She's a Microsoft MVP in a business application category. And I would request if she can provide her introductions to our audience today, and then I will start the further conversation afterwards. Over to you, Malin.
Thank you. And thanks for having me on this very special day. It's a good day. So, Malin Martnes, I live in Norway. I run my own company, so I have worked in April. I've actually been a consultant for 10 years in the business world and CRM world, which I still call it CRM. So I worked as a customer before that, so I have no technical background at all. It's marketing is my background, and then the technical platform took me, so to say. So yes, I think that's
Okay.
the briefest I've
Thanks.
ever been
Yeah.
in an introduction.
Thanks. Thanks, Malin, for really a short intro, and appreciate for that one. And on that note, maybe I would listen. I would try to listen something more. So maybe if you can tell something interesting about yourself, like maybe something what you do in the off time or something, some hobbies or something like that.
Yes, I in my off time when I'm very bad at off time though.
Okay.
But one of my biggest off time joys is football.
Oh.
So I'm a huge Liverpool supporter.
Hmm.
So I don't think I have missed a single game, probably not for the past 10 years or so, at least.
Okay.
Probably more when I think about it. So I have been to weddings and I have watched it on my phone. I'm my family knows all about this. So my kid is
Okay.
like, yeah, mom, oh, when is football this weekend? Oh yeah. Okay, so he knows that there's no introduction interruptions. He's not able to watch the TV. That's all mine, and that is every single game. So I spend a lot of time on football watching. Uh, yeah.
Interesting, amazing. Yeah, I could say die-hard fan for Liverpool in that case.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And then maybe I could ask very briefly about if you can tell about your journey as an MVP. What is going in your mind after having the added tag plus the additional responsibility? Because then, if you have been tagged as a Microsoft MVP, it definitely come with the additional responsibility, I would say, and people would expect something from you. So how do you manage this all the things and your journey around the Microsoft MVP and community stuff?
Yeah. So I became an MVP in the 1st of July 2019. So it's suddenly years ago, which is very strange. But I never do anything to be able to keep MVP status. I've always been, I do stuff because I want to do it. I will never do, oh, I need to do something. I need to do a blog post so that I can stay in MVP. I do what I do, and if that's not enough, that's not enough. That is fair enough. I won't stop doing things. I won't do more. I do it because I enjoy it. I also blog because I will forget or I need to
Okay.
learn. So it's a really good way for me
Mm-hmm.
um, to basically stay up to date with everything.
Mm-hmm.
I love being an MVP. I love the community
Mm-hmm.
and I love all the people in it. And I know that if I have an issue, I can text a group of people or I could text a specific person and say, "Hey, this thing help," and I will get help. So that has for
Okay.
me been a massive,
Okay.
massive help. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it can be a lot of work, and a lot of people do so much, and you don't really. So I don't think that I do that much
Hmm.
until someone asks me about it, and I start listing up, oh, I do this event and I do that event. Oh, and I speak here and I do blogs and I've done this, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe I do a bit.
Okay, that's great. At least I'm following your blogs and everything, like your contribution. If I'm not wrong, I think almost 7 years or something. But do you remember since when did you started contributing? Like, do you remember, or I think
Yeah.
it's quite long.
Yeah, no, I know exactly when, why, and how
Okay.
it started. So I was starting working with the HR system
Mm-hmm.
back in 2018. And nobody was blogging about it. Nobody was talking about it. Nobody was answering on the forums, the Microsoft forums. It was complete silent. So I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
so nobody's talking about it. Nobody's putting content out there. Nobody is doing anything. I think we need something about it,
Mm-hmm.
and I needed to learn more. So for me, blogging was a really good way of doing it. I
Mm-hmm.
had a proof of concept for a customer, so I needed to
Okay.
learn it anyways. I had never heard about it before the salesperson came. Hey, you're gonna do a proof of concept on talent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what's talent? I have no idea.
Okay.
Um, so that was my start in it all. Where can I find information about this thing? Oh, there is no, it doesn't exist. Where, what can I do? How can I help? Well, I need to take the certification. So in
Mm-hmm.
order to take the certification, I blog about it because I would write notes anyway to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I I learn better by writing stuff down. I rarely read my own notes,
Okay.
but it's still I write it down to find it again. So blogging was my way of learning more
Mm-hmm.
about the HR system. And I don't
Okay.
know how many times I have Googled and come across my own blog, which is kind of embarrassing when you're sitting with customers and they're like, how do you do this? And I'm like, I don't remember it. 2 seconds, let me Google that. And then I come in, oh, this blog, which is mine, explains it. So
Yeah.
yeah, kind of selfish with I'm gonna do it anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so I can learn for myself, and it's just an added bonus that I can share that with the community as well.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Like I could imagine, like and that remind me actually one of my ex-colleague long back in the Microsoft. So he I think probably you heard his name as well into the Dynamics industry. His name is Nishant Rana. He's one of the popular blog writers, and
Mm.
when I talked to him, like, how can you write that much of blog? Like maybe sometimes two blogs a day. And he said, okay, whatever I'm doing, if I found something which I cannot do by my own, or if there is something interesting, I always note down this one,
Yep.
and that's what I contributed. And he said, like, this is for the like this is definitely for the community, but this is for my own selfishness also, or for my own, because if I need something, I don't
Yep.
remember everything, I can Google and I can find the exact thing, because if I'm working day to day life, definitely I have to re-go through the same kind of the problems. So yeah, it's probably the great idea, and
Yeah.
people could think around that also, that if they are finding something weird,
Mhm.
finding something interesting, they should document it, and then it also help them as well as help to the community at some point of time in the
Yeah.
larger yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Okay.
yeah, and I don't
Hmm.
know how many times, like that one of my blog posts is about sending a notification to an internal person when a marketing form is submitted. And
Okay.
that particular flow was a Power Automate, and I don't know how many times I have gone back to my own post and been like, okay, so wait a minute, I need to do this and that and that and that, because it's a very long flow that needs to be done
Yeah.
to get all the information. So it's just having somewhere, and I would need to write that down anyway, so I could just post it.
I think that is a great idea to save your OneDrive space or the hard disk
Oh,
space, or keeping anything
yeah,
locally, but push it to the internet, and then internet or the cloud would manage that one for
yeah,
you on your behalf.
yeah.
Okay. Now probably the next quick question, like what advice or the tip you would like to share with the aspiring women in the specifically the technical field, like the tech field.
Yeah. I would, pardon my French, tell women to give less fucks,
Mm-hmm.
care less about what other people do, basically, what other people think, because there will always be people who you imagine don't like you. There's always, your content will never be good enough for
Mm-hmm.
you. So for a lot of women, especially for women with
Mm-hmm.
we need to be perfect. Everything needs to be perfect. I need to write this blog post
Yeah.
absolutely perfect for me to publish it. I need to this I can't have any typos. I can't do anything. It needs to be deep enough, and oh, but this person is already talking about it. So I'm not gonna, nobody wants to listen to what I say. Yes, then if you think like that, you will never ever publish anything.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest thing is to just start. And I have some blog posts that I go back to now and I think like, gee, wow, okay, yeah, well, it's out there. It is what it is. But
Mm-hmm.
you can't go for perfection. Then you will never blog anything. Like I now have this year, I think so far I've had about 2 blog posts per week on
Mm-hmm.
Custom Insights data.
Okay.
I am I gonna continue with that? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Does it take a lot of time? Yeah. Are the blog posts perfect? Absolutely not. Could they be better? Yes. All of them could probably be better, but it's also, there's so much to write, and if you're gonna go into the nitty-gritty, then I would do everything completely different. Like my
Mm-hmm.
marketing book, it's 350 pages. It's still high level.
Yeah. Cool.
It's there's the systems are so big and they
Mm-hmm.
change so much, and there's always someone who will have a benefit from your content.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that person is yourself, and that's okay. You don't stop striving for perfection, because you will never get anything done. Never publish anything.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. So, in that note, thank you, Malin, again for sharing your insights. So, I'm really confident and convinced that this conversation will definitely inspire and guide the other women toward achieving their full potential in the tech industry. And in that note, we are almost to the end of our conversation for today. And thanks again for your precious time, Malin, because especially on the short notice to be our graceful guest today,
Thank you
and
so much
all
for
of the
having
viewers.
me. It's an
Yeah,
honor.
this is honor for me as well individually, and a note to all of the viewers who are watching this. So please subscribe the channel for more content like this, or around business application, or around Power Platform. And as we continue our journey towards inclusivity and empowerment, each step contribute, to a brighter future for women in tech. And I wish you, Marlene, a very happy International Women's Day, and everyone happy International Women's Day. And on that note, I would like to close this. Thank you so much, and now we can sign off for today. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.